have you got to that point where it's like, would be cool to play in Big Mike's system again, would be cool to be in Big Mike's building again, would be cool to get a chance to maybe rewrite the ending of our relationship in a place that, although it is not the same, has similar history whenever it comes to NFL story. How much of that combo have you had with yourself at this stage, and what has that been like, reliving what could possibly be next year?
Well, I want to say that anybody on here who's expecting me to make some big decision, just shut up. Just turn it off now. Just leave.
Nobody was expecting him to make any big decisions. And frankly, at this point, Aaron, nobody really cares all that much. We really don't. I don't see any talk or speculation about whether or not Aaron Rodgers is going to play this year. I think people are over that. They know you're going to do whatever you're going to do whenever you want to do it. And I still think he uses the absence of information as an effort to generate attention through silence. He knows if he pulls back, people are going to say, "Ooh, what's he going to do? What's Aaron Rodgers going to do? Aaron Rodgers isn't talking. What's he going to do? Does anybody know what he's going to do? I don't know. He's not talking. Well, what's he going to do?" That doesn't exist anymore. It really doesn't. I think that the general attitude, I know my attitude is, okay, fine, you're going to play for the Steelers, you're going to play for somebody else, that's fine. We got other more relevant players right now, and I don't know that he understands that. We're all not hanging on every word he says, although we have written 3 stories about what he said yesterday, but we're all not hanging. We're not waiting like, when is he going to talk? When is he going? We need to hear from Aaron Rodgers. Like, that vibe is gone. There's no anticipation to hear from Aaron Rodgers.
No, not at all. Aaron Rodgers, as you know, and I always say, I mean, is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and maybe in his prime might have been the greatest of all time. But we're far away from that. So that's where it's not like we're sitting at the edge of our seat. What's he gonna do? Wait, he was the MVP last year. I mean, if we really break it down and get into it, I mean, I think what we're going to talk about, does Aaron Rodgers, first off, what are his options other than Pittsburgh? Tell me that. That'd be the first thing I'd say. It's to me, it feels like it's Pittsburgh or bust. So it's not like, oh, you're going to go here and change that team around. And then I think, to be totally fair, and if I was going to be fair and honest about the situation, about a guy that I just gave unbelievable praise to forever. And when I first worked with you, I was just like, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady all day long. It doesn't matter what day it is, he's better. But as we sit here right now, if I'm going to be honest and go, I don't know, is he even a top 20 quarterback in football? Like, I think that's fair to say. He's not in the top half of the league anymore. That's gone. So no way the top 16. So yeah, like, the public's not like, ooh, where's the 22nd best quarterback in football going to go? That ship has sailed. And, there's a point there, too, where I just look at it and go, what's Pittsburgh waiting for? What is it? I'm a little surprised they don't want an answer a little quicker here to figure out what they want to do. Or are they just willing to go, wait, this is going to be kind of a rebuild, bridge year. Yeah, Aaron, come back and bridge it for us because we're going to draft somebody or we're going to bring somebody else in at the end of the year and we have a plan for the quarterback. I don't know. But you're right. I don't think the public interest is all that great around the situation.
And late in the regular season, before Mike Tomlin was fired, or not fired, he walked away. I'm sorry. So many were fired, I can't remember who was fired, who didn't. He left on his own after 19 years in Pittsburgh. But before that happened, there was a press conference, and Aaron Rodgers kind of with like that wry smile, I may have a few options. I still may be pretty good. I may have. I may have some options. And he didn't want to talk much more about it than that. He never wants to talk much about it, and that's fine. I don't know what options he's going to have. He wanted to go to Minnesota last year. Kevin O'Connell eventually acknowledged that he talked to Aaron Rodgers, but O'Connell, to the extent that he wanted Rodgers, got vetoed. To the extent that O'Connell wanted to keep Sam Darnold, got vetoed. To the extent that he wanted to keep Daniel Jones, got vetoed. And the season, as a result, got vetoed. So this year, if Rodgers, who by all appearances wants to play the Bears and Packers every week at the same time, if he could, he'd like to go to Minnesota for that reason and that reason alone.
That ship sailed, though.
Are the Vikings gonna?
No.
Are they gonna like? Yeah, okay, we didn't want to do it last year, but we are gonna do it this year. I don't think a 1 year older Aaron Rodgers than he was a year ago is going to be attractive to the Vikings. And if they go back and watch his film from last year, as they surely will, they're going to realize he's not the Aaron Rodgers who won back-to-back MVPs at the start of this decade.
Exactly right. I think that ship has sailed. It's gone. It's over. Nor do I think it's the best thing for their team now at this point anymore. Because if he comes in there, he takes over, he becomes the man. You don't even give J.J. McCarthy really a chance in that situation. And at the same time, I'd go, Aaron Rodgers in the Kevin O'Connell offense. What do we say about Kevin O'Connell's offense all the time? I mean, he wants to drop back, play action, whatever, but he wants to throw the ball 20, 25 yards, 30 yards down the field. Justin Jefferson screaming across the middle of the field on a deep crossing route, right? I mean, you're a Vikings fan. Doesn't that just feel like that's what they do all the time? And there we go. And we were here in 18 weeks last year, and 17 of them were like, Aaron Rodgers won't stand in the pocket and throw the ball down the field. It's check, 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 throw it here. Check, 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 throw it here. Kevin O'Connell will blow his head off if he has to deal with that. Like, there's no way. There's no way. So like you look at the landscape and what you're saying, you just go, yeah, I don't see anywhere. And if there is a spot, I'd go, well, Rodgers doesn't want to go there and be a part of a bad team that's rebuilding. So that's not realistic either.
Like Arizona.
Exactly.
Arizona's the only one that makes sense because Nathaniel Hackett's there. Mike LaFleur is there. Aaron Rodgers said some surprisingly kind things about Matt LaFleur being on the hot seat after the final game of the regular season that left Matt LaFleur literally, and this is what he told Mike Silver, speechless. So I could see Arizona, and look, you got to sell tickets, and I don't know how much of a draw he is at this point. That's the other side of it too. Like, are the Cardinals going to break the bank with season ticket renewals and expand their season ticket base and get 5 or 6 regular season primetime games by signing Aaron Rodgers? I don't think that's happening either. I think there's plenty of other younger star players. We did the thing yesterday of all the best guys 25 and under in the NFL, and we're like, how the hell do we draw these lines? There's too many of them.
Yes.
This is the reality of the NFL right now, and the sun has set on Aaron Rodgers' career. Well, it's that last little piece that's hovering on the horizon. And how maybe he'll come back and win the Super Bowl this year. I'm not saying that he's done. I'm not saying that he's washed up. All I'm saying is the sport moves on, and we always see it happen when a guy gets injured. I remember when Ben Roethlisberger got hurt week 2 of the 2019 season with that elbow. And it's like, damn, it's like he never even existed. Like, boom, they move on. And they're not talking about the guy who's not there. That's the way the sport works. So with Aaron Rodgers, he's keeping his cards close to the vest. I think what he's trying to do is exactly what he did last year. Delay making any commitment with any team until the voluntary offseason program has ended, because you're less of a distraction if you're not on the team at all than if you are and you're not showing up for the voluntary offseason work. So you sign at the end, you sign for the mandatory minicamp, and you proceed. And the Steelers, they claim they're content to wait. They claim any day that Aaron isn't there is one more day that Mike McCarthy can develop Will Howard. So it's going to be Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. Now, let's see if they draft someone. Let's see if they sign someone. You know, what if the Jets cut Justin Fields and they owe him $10 million this year, and the Steelers offer him the 1-year veteran minimum, and Fields realizes no one's paying me more than $10 million. I'll go back to Pittsburgh on the minimum. I mean, what if they do that? They wanted to keep Justin Fields last year. Of course, they said they wanted to keep Russell Wilson too, but I really think they did want to keep Justin Fields. They just weren't going to pay him $20 million a year. So I think that, look, the posture is the same as it was a year ago, but next week's going to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
Will the Steelers make a move? Will we hear that Aaron Rodgers is talking to this team, or this team? And it may be that we just need to work through the rest of the month, and then everyone will know where they stand. And then when we get into April, May, whatever, that's when we'll get the same vibe we had a year ago, that it's just a matter of when, not if, Aaron Rodgers shows up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm like you're saying there. I'll be interested to see what the approach is there as well. There is a lot of guys that I think are going to be available to where you go, oh, this could be a bridge quarterback for your football team here. So they might just be like, hey, okay, we'll wait for Aaron Rodgers, or we make a move and get one of these guys that might be out there to hold it over for a year. Maybe they do something like that. But
wouldn't you take Kirk Cousins over Aaron Rodgers right now?
Yeah, I would.
Wouldn't you?
I would. Yes.
If you're the Steelers?
Yes, I would. I would. I'm. You know, it pains me to say that to a degree, just because when I say what I like it, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you know that nobody was leading the charge of Aaron Rodgers.
You ain't getting the Aaron Rodgers. You ain't getting the Aaron Rodgers from the day when you were doing that stupid ass song.
Rodgers,
I remember the first time you did that. I'm sitting in this chair
seen.
and I'm thinking, what the hell did I get myself into?
Well, let's go back to that time. Aaron Rodgers was running this simple, like boring offense that did nothing. And we were like, the Packers, they got one of the best offenses in football. The Packers should go to the Super Bowl every year. And it was like, what? Are we watching the same game? I mean, he's like, do, zoom, zoom, zoom. I mean, the whole game was him just making plays. And it's like, damn, has anybody ever delivered by the offense? I mean, it was incredible. So he could beat teams by himself as far as regular season, those middle class type of teams there for a period where you just go, that's unreal. I mean, there was, John Elway, it's a short list of guys where you just go, one guy can kind of get it done, even though another team might be a little bit better. I've never seen one guy close the gap to that way. But of course, as we know in the playoffs and the teams are the best of the best, you can't win and overcome that way. And that's what kind of hurt Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, he was unreal. As I always say, Aaron Rodgers at his prime, arguably the strongest arm in the history of the sport, arguably the quickest release in the history of the sport, one of the greatest gunslingers, yet he took care of the football at a rate that was the greatest in the history of the sport, one of the best backyard quarterbacks, run around, extend the play, find something downfield you'll ever see. So I hope we don't forget that. But yes, that's a long ways away to your point, and I probably would take Kirk Cousins over him at this point. Kirk Cousins has at least shown the ability to hang in the pocket and throw the ball down the field. That's the one thing that's the big difference. And like we talked yesterday and we talked last week a little bit, and we heard Jesse Minter say, right, like taking care of the ball is not as necessarily as important anymore in the NFL. Explosive plays are the number one thing dictating who wins a football game. And so to check it down, man, it's hard to win that way. And Kirk Cousins doesn't do that. So, yeah, we'll see where this goes with Aaron Rodgers.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.